Hi guys, it's Gilly Hunt here with a rather nice little basket suitable for Mother's Day or Easter, which are both coming up soon. Just planning Mother's Day with my daughter and my niece and my sister. We're hoping to all get together and do some family cooking together. Won't that be lovely? So here's what we're going to make. A little basket that you can put Easter eggs in. Great for a little kids Easter egg hunt. They could make their own little baskets and then hide them for each other around the house, or you could make them for them. Alternatively, it makes a pretty little Mother's Day gift, and instead of putting eggs inside, you could put some little piece of jewellery or something a little more special inside. It's up to you. So I'll show you how to make them. Let's get rid of that for now and bring in the instruction sheet. And we're starting off with a 3" by 3" square. There's your 3" by 3" square. And we're going to divide it up into 1" squares, 9 of them in total. So this is how we do it. We get our scoreboard and our trimmer. And the fabulous thing is the trimmer has a cutting blade, so I've already cut my 3 by 3 using the cutting blade. Let's get that out of the way though now, because we now want the pale grey blade and we're going to do the scoring. So we open it up and we put our card in at the 2" point and we take a stripe with the scorer. And we do exactly the same again, but at the 1" point. So we've now got our 1 and 2" scores. We're now going to turn it 90 degrees and do exactly the same again at the 2" point and at the 1" point. Okay, get rid of the trimmer altogether. We don't need it again. So we've now got, if I just fold along those lines for you, you'll be able to see it a little more clearly. There we are. We've now got our 9 sections, all of them are 1" across. And this is an optional extra, but I'm going to bring in my trio punch, and I'm going to use this one, which looks like a strange moon shape, but actually, abracadabra, it cuts off a strange moon shape, but it creates a lovely rounded edge, rounded corner. So I'm going to round each of my 4 corners, and I love this because you can just round the edge of your cards. It's it makes a lovely professional finish. However, if you don't have one of those, don't panic, you can still make this little basket. It's just that let me bring in the original, where you've got a curve here, okay, you will end up with just a little V shape and a little V shape, and it does look quite pretty as a V shape, but I quite like the roundness. So there we go. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, if I could find them. Oh, there they are. My desk is in somewhat of a mess at the moment. And you're going to chop down the score lines. Okay, down the score lines to the next score line, and the same again on the other side. There we go, and that's shown there on the diagram for you. Okay, and then you're going to cut yourself a handle which is 6 inches long and approximately 1/4 inch, although I have to say I think this one is a little bit thinner than 1/4 inch. But it's up to you. It depends whether you want a chunky handle or a thin, delicate handle. Up to you entirely. Okay, the next thing we do is we stick the whole thing together. So making sure we're working with this one, which is loose, not this one, which is all part of one solid side. So it's the ones that are loose opposite each other that we've cut the slits either side of that we need to do this to. And we're going to just put a piece of tear tape right in the centre, coming up to the edge, and again on the other one. Okay, and we just want to do it halfway across. We don't want to do it at the bottom because otherwise it will show later on. Okay, and we're going to take that off, both of them off. We might as well work both sides at the same time. It's a nice easy project, so we don't get too sticky and muddly with this. So there's our 2 pieces of tear tape, and I'm just going to put a few little dots of glue around that, only little tiny ones, because what I want to happen is that the handle will stick well and truly to the tear tape, but I want the glue to hold it in place for an extra firm hold in a moment. So on it goes. Doesn't matter if it just squeezes a bit out, because this is all going to be concealed. There is our handle, and we're now just going to take, whilst it's just in place, we're just going to take a bone folder or our finger and just give it a little curl, you know, like you do at Christmas, just to make something curl, because what we don't want is a chunky broken up handle. So there we go, there's one, and now it's curling under. We can continue it all the way under, and we're going to bring it back to this other side and stick it on. So now if I bring those sides up, you'll see the start of the basket. Okay, did you see where those happened to go from? So the first one was sticking out, we let it curl round, and we brought it back to the outside. So they're both fastened there on what will be the outside of the basket. Okay, now let's take each and every corner that is next to the slit that you cut. So it's this little top corner next to the slit that you cut. Okay, each of those 4 corners, and now you're going to pull them in and cross them over to make the sides of your little basket. I'll do that on the other side so you can see it again, but all we've done is we've brought them in and crossed them over, and this is where that nice roundedness is rather nice. Otherwise it would just be a little sticking out little edge. So back to the other side. Watch carefully here, each of the corners, we're going to bring them in, and they cross over just across the handle. So you're making almost like a heart shape here. Okay, and then we just hold on to that, and we now have a little basket. And the lovely thing is that if I show you the inside now, can you see this little handle, the end of it goes in between here and the outside. So in fact, because we only stuck it onto the top half, we don't see where the end of the handle is enclosed. So isn't that neat and smart and tidy? And now we're going to decorate it and add our bits and pieces. So for this one, I've just cut up some little squares of tissue paper, and I think they were 2 inches across, and I've just sort of fanned them out so that they're not all in the same position, and I'm going to just pop them inside. And I've got some lovely little bright pink eggs that perfectly match our Melon Mambo cardstock that we've used. So this was Melon Mambo, the cardstock, and I'm just going to make it very pretty by using our Twill polka dot ribbon. And I'm just going to put a real nice little white bow right on the top of the, that's if I can tie it. Oh, I hate doing bows in front of other people because I always seem to make a mess with them. Let's see if we can do it beautifully. Let's make it a bit smaller. That seems very huge. Yes. Okay, and I'm just going to snip the ends a little bit shorter. So we've now got a rather beautiful big twirly bow on top of our little basket. Oops. And if they drop out, we can always eat them. So I'm not going to colour the sides or do anything to the sides, but I thought I'd now show you a few that I'd done earlier, just to give you some ideas. So here's a little one in Bermuda Bay Blue, and all I've done is wrapped some of the ribbon into the bottom. It's a sort of thread which has some lovely metallic pieces in, and it came as part of my free gift from the celebration. So that's another one, and I've just wrapped that round the handle to give us a little bit of prettiness. I've then done a little orange one with some orange eggs in, and this time I've used one of our designer series papers, and this is the Bonzo Buddy one, which, if you remember, I've made previously into some rather pretty little cards with koalas and lions on. And this is our clear faceted gem, which I've used the pumpkin pie blender pen to colour, which gives it a little orange glow. It reminds me of those sweets we used to have called jelly tots. I don't know if anybody else remembers those lovely jelly tots. I don't know whether you can still get them. I don't buy sweets much anymore. So those are 3. Ooh, that one doesn't want to keep its egg. I'll tell you what, we'll keep it that way up. And then I've done a little lemony yellow one, which was Daffodil Delight cardstock. And I've used the gross grain ribbon in the same Daffodil Delight to make a little tiny bow, both sides. And then in the middle of that, I've cut out from a piece of paper. This was the paper. I'll just grab hold of it for you. Isn't this lovely paper? I've just grabbed and cut out some of the little central designs and used them on the top and on the sides with a little gem in the middle. So there's another one. And last but not least, I've done a Happy Mother's Day card, which says Happy Mother's Day on it, and has a rather pretty little stamped flower, which I've cut out and popped a pearl in the middle. So there you go, a whole set of beautiful little baskets ready for Mother's Day or Easter. Have a go at making those and tell me if you enjoyed them. Thanks then, bye bye.